Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Body Development 2K Club Challenge. I'm hoping you guys are still with me and you're enjoying the content. It's been quite a wild ride and I had another scan today, and it's the first scan I've taken since I started introducing carb days to sort of see how that was going to impact my fitness. Now, the carb days, essentially the goal for that is every third day I will eat my maintenance calories, so that's making sure I eat as much as I burn off, and then I try and make sure I eat a lot more in carbohydrates. So I've actually ate a surplus on my carb days for the past week, so I was a little bit worried about what would happen when I step on the scale today, but the results were a lot better than I thought they would be. They were actually beyond my expectations, so I'm going to share them with you now. So I'll put up on the screen my first scan, which was taken the 2nd of March, and we'll work our way down from top to bottom. So essentially, the first measurement is total body water. This was 42.8. As I mentioned, if you've looked at my previous videos, my scans, my hydration has been coming down a little bit because I've been drinking less than I need to. So my goal this week was to get that up. And then you've got a breakdown of my protein, my minerals, and my body fat mass, which is about 9.4 kilograms of fat on myself at the moment. My weight was 67.9 kilograms. My skeletal muscle mass was 33.2 kilograms, and that was also down a little bit from before. So my body mass indicator was 21.8. I don't generally like the body mass indicator because for people that are actually putting on muscle mass or bodybuilding, it will tell you you're obese or it will have problems like that. So it's not a measurement I take to heart, but it's something to keep in mind. It's some data that we can use when making adjustments. My body fat percentage was 13.9%. So I hit my first goal of being sub 15%. Very happy about that. And my waist to hip ratio was 0.84. Very, very good result to start with. So now let's get to today's scan, which you should be able to see right here on the screen. My weight is actually 68.4. So I've gone up weight since my last scan, and that is by about half a kilogram. My body water is up a kilo, which would explain some of the weight there, was probably hydration issues. My total body water is now 43.8. The top of the range is 47, so I've still got room to improve on my hydration, but the good news is I've got it back up. My body fat mass has gone down to 88.7, which is down from 9.4, so we got quite a big drop from there. That's like 700 grams essentially of fat that we've burned since my previous scan. My body weight this morning, we've already covered that. My skeletal muscle mass is 33.6, so that's gone up, and part of that is going to be due to hydration, the muscles holding on to that water a bit better. So I've probably put on a bit of muscle and there's a bit of hydration in there. And as a percentage, my body fat is now 12.7%, so we're down like an entire percent on body fat, which is great. We're getting ever closer to closing in on that 10%, where hopefully we have the full ripped look. We just got to make sure that we don't look really skinny when we're done. My waist to hip ratio is down to 0.81. So all in all, if we do a quick summary of all of that, what that essentially means is that I've burned off more fat and I've put on more muscle. So the carb days, I did them correctly. I've got some advice because I did have my consultation with my PT, and I'll talk about what I've got to aim for next. Obviously, for this next part, this is very tailored to me personally. If you're doing your own fitness journeys, I recommend you consult a nutritionist or you talk to a personal trainer and get advice that's relevant to you, because the information I'm going to get, if you copy this to the T, it may not work for you. So take this as me sharing my side with you so you know what to look for when you get to this point. At this stage, all of the stuff I've done before is stuff that you can copy, but don't copy necessarily this exactly because your measurements are going to be different to mine. So my goal is to get my daily maintenance calories up, get my daily calories up significantly. So my goal is to aim for 2,400 a day, and that's going to increase week 1, week 2, week 3. I'm going to be doing a scan each week to sort of make sure that fat isn't creeping back on. My end goal is to be eating about 2,800 calories per day. And that's going to include a lot more protein and more carbohydrates. So my total deficit maximum is only to be 1,000 calories a week. So originally we were aiming for 3,500 calorie deficit per week, which is Is it a kilogram of fat? Yes, it's a kilo, no, half a kilogram. Yeah, I think it's about a kilogram of fat. It's about 3,500 calories. So that was a goal of before. Now I've got to take that down by a quite significant amount so that I'm not ended up burning away muscle while I'm doing this next part. And my goal is to aim for 25% protein, 25% carbohydrates, 50% fats, and 140 grams in week 1 of protein. Then that goes up to 160, then 180 a little bit later. I've also been recommended to take 3 supplements: creatine, cod liver oil, drops, not tablets, and vitamin D drops, not tablets. So I'm going to get some of that stuff on Amazon, and I'm going to, by the time I post all these videos, I will have finished and I'll know if it works. And if it does work, you'll find the affiliate links below so you can get the exact same stuff that I'm using for this. And of course, whenever you do that, that helps out the channel and helps me keep bringing great content to you guys to help you on your journey to becoming the greatest Chad who ever chatted. So yeah, my mood is static. How can you feel bad, right? The body fat's come down, muscle's gone up. That's the exact thing that you want. I've got very clear direction for what I'm going to be doing over the next couple of weeks. I've got additional scans, and whenever we have data, we can go through that. My shopping bills are going to have to come up, but that's a small problem to have because they were so small at the moment. So what I'm going to be doing is looking for more protein. Probably going to look at chicken breasts. I can double up on pork as well. Do 2 slices, 2 of the thick chops. Well, no, actually not the thick ones. The really thick ones are about 800 kilograms per chop. But I can do for the regular ones, I can double those up. That'll be 800 calories right there. Also increases the amount of protein that I'm taking in as well. And I'm not going to be changing the carbohydrates too much. I'm going to be looking at sweet potatoes, parsnips here and there, and regular potatoes. Still going to be using avocados, and still going to be drinking vitamin C to keep that going. So yeah, that's kind of a wrap up of what my plans are for you'll see this week, and then I'll get, of course, next week. I'll also show you at the end of the day my progress photos so that you can sort of see where I'm at. No, in actual fact, you already saw them last week because I take them on a Monday morning and then I've edited them back in, so you've kind of seen a little future glimpse. So when you get to the end of this video, or which is essentially going to be the end of this week, you'll get progress photos of where I'm at. And I'll keep you in on my moods and stuff like that, how I'm feeling, and what's going on based on adding these supplements. But I got to order them from Amazon first and get them delivered. So it may take about a week or 2 before I start getting benefits of that. Although I do already have creatine from before, so I'll start using that. I'll be mixing it with water instead of a protein shake. And I'll get the cod liver and the vitamin D drops off Amazon as soon as I can. So yeah, today I'm trying again for an appointment. I have a crippling fear of needles. Like you've heard me allude to it before, and I really want to travel this year. And one of the requirements for me to do that is I need to get vaccinated, and I'm absolutely terrified of needles. So you know I can never be natty because I just can't inject the steroids, and it's something I've been struggling with for a very long time. I've had a lot of trouble with medical stuff in the past. Almost every time I've done something, something's gone slightly wrong and it's kind of mentally built up, and it's just kind of a complete irrational phobia. I have been punched harder in the face. I've injured myself more in the gym than I know a needle would actually hurt, but for some reason I seize up and I struggle, and I'm going to be trying again today. And like I said, I'll just keep trying and eventually I'll get there, and then I can, at the end of this, once you've got all of the body, can show it off on a nice vacation somewhere where there's a beach, as opposed to this white void of my apartment. Anyway guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. I'm going to start with my lunch, and I will be eating regular today, but, well, I say regular, I will increase the portion sizes to account for the fact that I'm aiming for about 2,400 calories a day. But what I will do is go to the store and grab some more stuff tonight so that I can make sure that I'm going to be hitting my new goals as set by my PT. Really not training tonight because if I do get my injection, I feel like the last thing I'm going to need is to be feeling like crap, which I've heard from a lot of my friends. That's what happens. And then trying to do Metcon cards, which is one of the toughest workouts out there. So stay with me. I will have food shots coming right up so you can see exactly what we're eating. And of course, we'll do that for meal 1, meal 2, and then we'll do a wrap up of the day. So catch you real soon. And guys, this is meal 1 for today. So I have 350 grams of pork chop. I have 450 grams of potatoes, 29 grams of absolute dark chocolate, and that murky water right there in the corner, that's not lime scale, that's actually creatine powder in 1 glass of water, which I'm just letting dissolve before I drink that. All in all, really looking forward to this, and I'm kind of excited I get to start putting my food up again. I really enjoy eating. Something I've learned from the 2 meals a day is by having such strict fast periods, it's helped me get to that point where I'm comfortable just eating. When I do get to eat, I'm really into it and I don't get sick of the stuff that I'm already eating. So it's been really, really good for me. So anyway, guys, I'm going to eat this right now and I'll catch up with you in a bit. And guys, this is meal 2 for today. So I have 450 grams of chicken thighs and 141 grams of avocado. In total, my calorie count comes up to 2,500. I should be aiming for about 2,400, but I had a bit of a walk today and that, so my total work is going to be around, this will be around the target I've been set by my PT. So I'm going to try and eat this much every day, and then I've got a scan next Monday and I'll see if I've put on any fat mass. If I have, then I need to be more active or I need to reduce calories. If things have gone well, I'll put it up to 2,600. So I'll catch you guys for the wrap up real soon. I'm going to enjoy this now. Hey guys, it's time to wrap up day 71. So as I saw earlier, scan went really, really well, and I'm going to be making some adjustments. I've ordered some supplements that should arrive tomorrow from Amazon, so I get to try those out and start seeing the effects. My overall goal is to aim to be in only 1,000 deficit per week. So I'll be tailoring my food around that, and my goal is to eat around 2,400 a day. I do have to keep in mind that that will be adjusted down on days where I don't train, like today. Today I actually ate 2,500 calories, and because I didn't train today, I only burned off about 2,099. So I ended up in a surplus of 413, not where I want to be. So I will turn that down a little bit tomorrow to account for that. So I'll eat what I normally eat, and then I'll get onto the correct schedule. I don't know if I'm supposed to continue doing the carb load days as I was doing before. I will ask my PT based on the new information he's just given me to aim for about 2,400 calories. Is a breakdown of 25% carbohydrates, 25% protein, and 50% fats. I will see if I'm supposed to still be doing those carb days, but I'll be fine because Tuesday I'll be doing, what is it, stretch and move. Stretch and move is a very intense class, so that's usually around 600 burns I tend to do on those days, plus make sure I go out for a nice walk and stuff, and that'll sort of account for the fact that I was over a bit today. And then I'm just going to aim for about 2,400 a day, and I'm going to make sure that my activity is burning beyond that. I'm not going to aim to eat 2,400 on days where I don't train. Those are going to be the days where I aim to eat 500 below, and then not even 500 below, only maybe even 200 below, essentially, to try and keep my deficits around 1,000. I didn't post my stats in the body development group. I've got to do that right now. So guys, we're going to wrap this one up nice and quick, but I'll see you tomorrow. Last night I had to shoot off early because we have an accountability Facebook group where if you don't post your stats in on the Monday as requested, you get kicked from the group. And I remembered at 11:30 p.m. that I had not done that. Part of the reason for that is I had to take some very strong tablets yesterday to try and help me with my phobia of needles to try and get the vaccination done. Turns out those tablets did not do anything at the time, but when I came home I was feeling extraordinarily drowsy and struggling to cognitive think. It kind of just takes the sharpness out of your brain. Like, you just feel a little bit like when you're thinking, everything just happens a little bit slower, but unfortunately it didn't help me go through what I need to do, so I've got to try again, as always, keep going so I can actually travel and enjoy the world at some point and not just be a prisoner of Mother England, coincidentally a POM, what the Australians call us. So yeah, that aside, I woke up today feeling, it was kind of a hard sleep, but a big part of that is due to the fact that I was on tablets. I woke up about 8:45, I got up, turned on my computer, started my work day. I'm getting a little bit hungry, but food's in the oven right now. It's coming up to, what time is it now? 12:30. So it's just going to be about another 20 minutes and I'll be eating some more food. Yesterday I was in a calorie surplus because I didn't train. It turns out that I cannot eat 2,400 calories on days where I do not train. So for those days, I'll just aim to eat around the 2,000 mark. And on days that I do train, I should be aiming to eat 2,400, increasing the carbohydrates up and also the, well, actually, no, the protein is actually coming down a little bit to give more to carbohydrates. But the overall, actually, no, protein's gone up, right? Because my target is 140, and then next week it's 160. Although yesterday I hit 160, so that's pretty good. My supplements I ordered from Amazon, they should be arriving today. So we could start with the cod liver oil and the vitamin D drops, and I will, of course, if they worked by the end of this series, which is when I intend to start posting stuff, it will be in the description below, so you can use the affiliate links to go pick up the exact same stuff that I was using. And of course, anytime you do that, it really helps the channel out. What else to report? Nothing. The sun's starting to come back up again, so it's not so cold when you're going out for those walks or when I'm going around to walk to the gym. Something that I'm actually quite grateful for, because I know I need to be walking along to the gym to get a little bit of extra activity in my days. But when it's that cold, I just want to drive. And well, another incentive is the fact that petrol is absurdly expensive right now. The prices are up like 20 pence per litre. But in American money, that's like 30 cents. But then your gas prices are so ridiculously low anyway, it would make your head melt if you saw how much people from England actually pay for petrol. It's all gone a bit crazy, obviously, with the world's current events, but you know, things keep moving forward and we'll see what happens. I've got a really busy week ahead of me, so I'm going to be jumping back into it, but I'll catch you guys up for food real soon, so stay with me. And yeah, good stuff to come. And tonight's training is stretch and move, which is a little bit earlier than my other classes, so I have to remember that. So catch you in a minute for food. And guys, this is meal one for the day. So I have 2 pork chops. These are from Lidl. Actually, I'm not 100% impressed with these. While they are cheaper, you get little fragments of bone in there, a lot more. So there's a couple of times where you're just kind of picking it out of my teeth, sort of like you bite into a bit of bone. Not so good. But you know, the price is really good for them, and they do hit the macros and stuff. It's just a little bit of extra work. And then I have 425 grams of potatoes. Potatoes are potatoes, it's wherever you go, really. It's not a lot of difference, not really much else to say. And then I have 31 grams of absolute dark chocolate to eat this down with. Really looking forward to it. And I'm going to dig in now and I'll catch you guys for meal 2 a little bit later. And guys, this is meal 2 for today. So, interesting situation, because these types of meats are so calorie dense, this actually brings me up to about 2,500 calories, which is my whole daily allowance without me being able to eat any more carbs. So, this is also the last of the meats in my house because I've been trying to put out my protein. I've burned through it a lot faster than I usually would. So what I'm going to do is switch from one of these higher fat content proteins into something a little bit easier, so that I have more room to fill my plate with carbohydrates instead of it all being, well, mostly fat. So yeah, there's 175 grams of pork chopped there. There is 195 grams of chicken thigh, and then of course 29 grams of absolute dark chocolate. It could have been avocados, but the avocados I have are about 150 grams, which are going to be about 280, and that's going to put me into about a 2600 range, which is not where I want to be. So I'm going to try this, and I'll swing by the shop tomorrow and pick up some less high fat content meats to try and balance this all out. Anyway guys, I'm going to eat this and then get to stretch and move, so I'll catch you in a bit. Hey everyone, it's our time again. It's for a wrap up. Well, I guess this is the first time we're doing this, so it's not really again, but it's a wrap up, and we do a lot of these. So today, good day of training. We had stretch and move. Sorry, it took me a minute to remember exactly what I'd done today. Stretch and move went quite well. I was able to take up a notch on some of the more complicated steps. I say more complicated. The PT says that each of the movements has like 6 levels, and I'm now getting to about level 2 on some of them. So I'm like, oh yeah, more complicated stuff, when really he'll be like, okay, and then you can just do this and it's a spinning back kick and you look like a Power Ranger, and you're like, oh, no, I can't do that, not yet. I can barely coordinate moving my left hand and right leg for some of the exercises. I don't know why I find that so weird, because I always go one side then the other side. When I'm trying to go opposites, it's just weird. It messes with my head. Maybe I'm just thinking about it too much, and that's a problem I need to work on. So, quick breakdown of today's calories. I ate 2,468. I burned 2,634, giving me a deficit of 166. So, my goal for this next part is to have only 1,000 calorie deficit per week. If I continued at this pace, I would just be over that actually. 7 times 166 would give me just over 1,000 calories burned. So that's a pretty good target to aim for. I need to go shopping tomorrow because I've already burned through all my protein sources. To get my carbohydrates up, I need to change one of my foods to be less fatty. That's either going to be the pork or the chicken thighs. The chicken thighs have been really good to me. So I'm thinking I'm going to probably swap the pork into turkey because that's very protein dense. And if that gets the calories down, that gives me some more room to then add in sweet potato or parsnips into my plan, and then that will then get my carbohydrates up to about 25%. Since at this point fat loss is less relevant than putting on muscle, of course the plan is to continue to burn fat, but that can go a lot slower at this point as I work on making sure that my body has enough fuel to build some muscle along the way. So I'll be interested to see how this goes. I started the supplements today, that all arrived. Unfortunately, instead of getting the drops for the cod liver oil, I got tablets by mistake. Always be sure you look at what you buy on Amazon. Fortunately, the vitamin D did come in drops, so I can use that. I've got my creatine, which I've started as of yesterday. Just mix it in with the vitamin C water, and you just end up having this cocktail of water and powder, I guess. Which is, yeah, giving me some of the extra vitamins that I'm missing out on. All in all, I'm doing all right and feeling good. Looking forward to getting the grips and getting my macros sorted. Anytime I've got to sort of change the types of food I'm eating, I'm kind of worried about getting my calories figured out, because for the past while, I've kind of had it down to a T. I know exactly how much of each thing to eat, and it's just been a regular cycle. And now I'm going to be changing that in order to change it up. So it's going to be a case of figuring out, and whenever I've got to cook sweet potato, that takes about an hour to get it nice, soft and fluffy, the way I like it, which is just kind of more of a pain in the ass because it just means spending more time cooking. So guys, I'm going to wrap it up here and I'll catch you tomorrow. So stay with me and best of luck with your fitness journeys. I'll see you tomorrow. Been quite busy this morning. I'm going to be running straight into another meeting after I've eaten my food right now, so I kind of want to do a bit of a quick overview of my morning and essentially then jump straight into the food because I've already got that directly in front of me. My mood, I've been in a bit of a bad mood, to be honest, past couple of days. Just some stuff going on in my life, to be honest. I'm not sure if it's so much diet related because I have increased the carbohydrates quite significantly. So yeah, other than that, my sleep has been okay. I got the full 8 hours in. I'm not using my tripod, so if we get a little bit of camera shake here, I do apologize. As you can see, it's behind me. But yeah, I got get my sleep in, get my hydration in, and I've got my supplements, which I'll be taking. Anyway, let's jump into food since we're here. And today we're doing something a little bit different. We have turkey breast steaks. So these are a lot lower on the calories, about 174 calories each, but they are massively dense in protein. So this will give me a bit more room to add carbohydrates in a little bit later. So I can eat these potatoes now. There's 444 grams of those, and then I can get sweet potato a little bit later as well. And then that will give me the calorie room to get the macronutrients that my PT has set for me. So yeah, that's kind of a little quick update for this morning and meal number 1. I'll catch you guys up for meal 2 a little bit later, where we're going to be eating some chicken thighs as well to sort of fill in the calories, and then that will also let us have some carbohydrates and avocado with that a little bit later. Anyway, see you soon. And guys, this is meal 2 for today. So I have 400 grams of turkey thighs, actually 431, 441 grams of potatoes, and 153 grams of avocado. This brings our daily calories up to around 2,400, which is going to be exactly in line with what my PT set. It also means that our protein is up at 180. So this is actually meeting my 3rd week's target. And my carbohydrates are also about exactly 25%. So this is actually, for all intents and purposes, Perfect, except I've got 5% more protein, which can never be a bad thing, right? Anyway, guys, I'll catch you for the wrap up a little bit later. I've got fit tonight, so it's going to be a hell of a session. I need to eat this and get ready. Hello, my fellow Chads in training. It is time for a wrap up, and what a tough day it was indeed. So, class tonight was fit, and it was just me and my PT. So we really ramped up the difficulty because I wanted to sort of test my limits and sort of learning how I can change up some of the exercises to make it more challenging, because I started to get used to the stuff I was doing before. Turns out the difficulty gets a lot higher. What I was doing was just a starter point. So there's usually 5 circuits and exercises you do in between each circuit involving a medicine ball. I got to circuit 3, and then on the 4th exercise, I did my first exercise in that circuit. And I had a massive stitch, and I was absolutely exhausted with energy, and we had to stop. I hit my absolute limit. But I do feel pretty good about it because the difficulty exercises, the dips, tricep dips, I've maximizing difficulty on those, moved over to full pull-ups with 3 second lower all the way down, then up, then down over 3, using 2 different grips for that. Squats, they're starting to look a lot better. I'm not tilting forward as much. Trick is just putting one of the medicine balls behind and using that as sort of like a guidance to sort of make sure my spine is going there, and that's keeping my depth right so I don't twinge my knee either. Press ups away from the frame, just doing them over timed rep range. So it's going down over 2, up over 1, down over 2, up over 1, close legs. So yeah, really put up the difficulty on a lot of things. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get to the end of the 5 circuits. I'm going to try again next Wednesday. What I'll suggest is probably dropping the medicine ball drills in between and just focus on getting those 5 exercises. If I can complete that circuit, then I'll start adding those medicine ball drills in, and then I should be able to do all of those, and then I'll see how the PTs decide to torture me by making it even harder. I found out my cousin, who's an absolute giga Chad, and you'll meet him at some point on the channel. He was doing that same exercise in the morning, and he just flies for it. But it's difficult to compare to him because he's the kind of person you can just look at anybody doing anything physical and you just go, yeah, I can do that. Like, he's 35 years old, can do backflips when he's drunk. Like, this man is ridiculous. Anyway, when we get to that point, when he's not chat, because obviously this isn't a video about him, I'll do an interview with him. You can sort of get to know who grew up in my family. So to wrap up today from my personal stats, food, I ate a lot more. I aimed for the 2400 and I got there. I ate 2,411 calories. And my macros were really, really good. I got over 180 on protein. And my breakdown was 30 protein, 25 for carbohydrates, and then 45 on fats. So definitely the right direction for putting on muscle. The calories I burned was 2,867. So got a 400 deficit. Ideally was only aiming for about 100 deficit a day. So it does mean on Wednesdays, I'm going to be putting these up. But although my PT actually had me planning to eat 2,800 by about week 3 of this adjustment period. So I'm not going to try and focus on that too much now. Each week I'm just going to ramp it up just a little bit. And yeah, my deficit was 456 by the end of things. So within the 500 range of what we were doing before, but now that we're changing it up a little bit, going to be just trying to aim for about 150 calorie deficit per day, because we're looking to get about 1,000 deficit total per week. So I'm going to keep doing that and watching how my body fat percentage goes down, and hopefully muscle then starts to go, or at least I start to fill out a little bit, muscle start holding on to some water. And the supplements and stuff that I'm using are hopefully going to help with that. And of course, if you want to see anything that I'm using in any of these videos, please go ahead and use those affiliate links down below. It will help me do way more videos and content for you guys to help you for your own fitness journeys or act as motivation while you're doing yours. And, you know, I can use it to decorate this white void that you see me in so often and listen to me drone on about me, and my fitness goals. But that's ultimately what I'm here to do, so you can just copy it and we can all look like Chad by summer or whenever, if you just want to go home and look absolutely fantastic at Christmas in a wool jumper. Those are a life hack, by the way. If you start to put on a bit of muscle mass, wear wool. You can get yourself some great stuff from Abercrombie and Fitch. Wow, God, they look sexy, so bloody sexy. Yeah, so I'm now gonna go make out with my Abercrombie and Fitch wool jumper. So it's time to wrap this one up, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow for day 74. And yeah, have a good one, and best of luck on your journeys. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Body Development 2K Club Challenge. I'm just at lunchtime, so I'm about to eat some food. Today, got a good night's... Well, I didn't sleep very well actually. I kept rolling around. I felt like I got to sleep about 4 a.m. Not really sure what was going on there, although today I am very sore from doing fit. I've got a lot of pain sort of right there in my ribs. I had a bit of a stitch. I think I strained it on some of the pull-ups. Fitting tight in a lot of places, but I've got another training session tonight. Metcon weights on the ball, the medicine ball, so that's going to be really exciting. Mood in general is pretty good right now. It's still a little bit of it's been a bit of a bad week for a lot of other stuff going on in my life, but other than that, I'm doing okay, and I'm going to make it to training. It's not going to stop me. What else to report? Not much else, just out enjoying the tiny bit of sunshine we've got, because it's been quite grey for the past couple of days, and obviously I figured this would be a little bit more, as much as you don't get to appreciate the view, because then you'd all know where I live, and I probably don't need some people showing up to ask me questions. Put them in the comments below. That would be much more preferred than potential stalkers. But yeah, no, feeling really good. Food is just ready. I've just heard the alarm go off now, so I'm just going to rotate us over to the dining room, and I'll show you exactly what we're eating. We'll do meal 1, meal 2, and wrap up. You should know the drill by now, guys, so stay with me and I'll catch you in a second. And guys, this is meal 1 for today. So I have 250 grams of turkey, 441 grams of potatoes, and 32 or 31 grams of absolute dark chocolate. This isn't a very calorie dense meal. Turkey just generally, because it doesn't have a lot of fat in it, it's very, very high in protein, not in fat, so the overall calories are down. So I'll fill out the rest of the calories, mostly with meal 2, a little bit later, but really enjoying this. Turkey's a little bit dry when you don't cook it with oil. That's something to keep in mind if you are just using water like I am. In fact, I didn't even put water on the tray at this stage. I just put it straight in, and you know what? My food's been coming out fine. I've not had any trouble at all, and I've been avoiding using any kinds of processed oils or anything as recommended by the 2 Meals a Day book, which you can find in the description below, which I strongly recommend anybody on their fitness journey or fat loss journeys to check that book out. Even if you're not doing tons of exercise, you can just do a lot of the changes just with diet, and you'll see significant change. Anyway guys, I'm going to eat this and I'll catch you all in a bit. And guys, this is meal 2 for today, and this is actually really, really crazy. So I've got 402 grams of chicken thighs, 441 grams of potato, 155 grams of avocado, 30 grams of absolute dark chocolate. This is me on a cut, right? I'm eating about 2,500 a day on a cut. Obviously for yourself, when you do these calculations, they're going to be different. And if you want to be losing fat, you should probably follow the first half. I put it in a separate playlist. The steps to drop your fat by going 500 calories deficit per week, essentially. No, per day, 500 calorie deficit per day, adding up to about 3,500 a week. I'm sort of in a weird body transformation where I'm trying to put on muscle and still burn fat. So I am eating at a deficit, but my deficit is a lot smaller. It's only 1,000 a week. So I've got to make up for the fact that I'm training so much, I need to eat a lot more. But yeah, on a cut, and I'm eating meals like this, and they are fantastic. And I'm never getting sick of it because of those big fasts that I do, those 18-hour fasts, or even 20-hour fasts in my case. Every time I get to sit down and eat food, I'm salivating like crazy, and I'm just like ready to tear into it. So really, really good meal. Hits all of my macros. I'll cover the details a little bit later when I'm done with training. So for now, I'll call it out here, and I'll catch you for the wrap up. Hey guys, it's time to wrap up the day, and I am knackered. It was quite a tough one. Really pushed it on the weights with the Metcon strength training. with the medicine balls, really working on those crunches as well, doing weights on them. On the medicine ball, essentially kind of just like doing a crunch, but with a weight on your chest. Well, more up towards your chin to sort of like really press the abs. Very, very tough exercise, but with the whole session, it went pretty well. Got to work on my shoulder presses. That's always been a bit of a weak spot for me, and I'm looking forward to getting a bit better at that. So I'm going to just wrap up the day on calories because it's really late right now and I just have to get to sleep. Total calories in, 2,475. Total calories out, 2,497. Deficit 22. This is actually fine because yesterday we had a deficit of 450 and we're only aiming for about 1,000 per week. So over the weekend as well, I'll be eating, well, at least one day I'll aim to eat around 2,000 calories, which will be the right amount. And then one of those days I'll eat about 1,700, depending on how tomorrow goes. And I will be around the 1,000 deficit because, yeah, Tuesday 166, Wednesday's 456, deficit today's 22. Overall, I think I'm going to hit that 1,000 target, and I've got to do another scan on Monday to sort of see what kind of impact that's having on my body and see if I'm putting on fat or what else is going on. So guys, I'm going to wrap it up here and I'll catch you for tomorrow. So rest easy and see you soon. Hello, my Chads in training. This is another video for the Body Development 2K Club. So far the results have been incredible for myself. I can't complain at all. I have started to mix up the diet and stuff, and I think that's starting to take effect as well. I'm feeling absolutely amazing. I've had a lot more to eat than I've been eating in previous weeks. I've been generally, my watch, the Garmin Watch that I use to track all my data, tells me I've been acting at about 500 calorie deficit. Generally it's been about 700 average, but based on the amount of fat that I've lost, it's probably been significantly higher than that. Probably closer to the range of about 1,000 deficit a day. I dropped 10 kilograms of body weight in just 8 weeks, which was insane. And now we're trying to do the opposite, which is, well, it's kind of weird. What I'm doing now is trying to slim down the actual body fat, whilst also giving my muscles enough room to grow. So today, I got to bed super late. I was up editing videos, creating content, and it's dragging on me. I need to stop that. I need to have a hard cutoff time for when I'm watching TV and stuff, or when I'm doing stuff, because it's just too much, and then I get to bed and it's very difficult to sleep because my brain is like this. It's all over the place. That said, today I'm feeling extremely sore. The fit class on Wednesday really kicked my ass, followed up by the Metcon strength training. Was it Metcon strength training? It's using the medicine balls with the weights. I can't remember the name of the class, but it's very tight around the chest today because I've really tried to push myself on my chest presses and other exercises. And of course you get the badges of honor, the bruises. I don't know if they'll show up on this camera, from having the kettlebells essentially there when you're doing a press, and the kettlebell's just like resting here. Well, I say resting, it's literally trying to crush you because that's what they do. They're not your friends. They are things to be lifted and put down so you can become Chad. So feeling quite sore today, but I've got a session tonight which is just upper strength, which is, I say that class is generally easier going. It's really not. It's a very intense arm blast and shoulder blast as well. Shoulders are already facing exhaustion yesterday, so this will be a tough class, but it's a good way to round out the week and then lead me into the weekend where I can take some days off. Anything else to report? No, my mood's fantastic. Seeing myself in the mirror and the results as they're coming through, and as I keep updating you with the progress photos, you can sort of see that yourselves. It's been quite incredible change. I'm just really motivated to keep going and see where I end up in May. Seeing how fast and how big those changes I could make over just 8 weeks. I just want to see what happens after 16 weeks. I'm very inspired, and of course I've got the data and everything to tinker around with, so I can then make changes to make active decisions about how I'm going to affect my day, which is then going to decide whether or not I achieve my goals. And this is something that you guys should be doing already, is like looking at your stats each week, weighing in on the scale, even if you don't have access to a body scanner, which I do at my current gym. You can get some calipers and you can use that to measure your body fat. Although I will say, if you have no idea what you're doing with that, even watching a YouTube video, it can be a little bit difficult. So just figure it out. There's ways that you can measure your body fat and just see, is that going down? And if that's your goal, and then if it's not, okay, change the calories around, try and change your macros a little bit. But I'd suggest making small changes to sort of just then so you can gauge exactly what is and isn't working. So guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. I've got food in the oven and I will show you meal one as soon as it comes up, but it's going to be turkey, potatoes, usual stuff. Very, very high on the protein this time around and much lower on, I say much lower on the fat. The fat's dropped a bit, but the protein is like skyrocketed. As has my shopping costs a little bit. Well, actually, they're not out of this world crazy, but it's definitely gone up from before for the fat loss. But again, my goals at this point now is to put on a bit of muscle mass so I don't look super skinny, because we don't want that either. Those guys at the beach where you're just like, just eat a sandwich. You gotta eat a sandwich. You know, not the Chad look. So, guys, stay with me and I'll show you lunch. And guys, this is meal one for today. So I've actually put the potatoes up a little bit. There's just under 500 grams, so it's like 494 grams of potato. I have the 250 grams of turkey breast. It is very dry because I'm not using any oils or anything like that, as I mentioned yesterday. But it's okay, it's edible, it's good, it tastes good. It's just, yeah, if there was a preference, it would be nice if it just wasn't quite as dry. And 30 grams of absolute dark chocolate. And I'm also going to be having some supplements, which are going to be some fish oil tablets as well, which have to be eaten with food. So that's going to be meal one. I'll chat to you guys a little bit later when we get meal two out. And guys, this is meal two for today. So I have about 350 grams of potato, so a little bit less since we've already eaten about 500 today. 156 grams of avocado, 430 grams of chicken thighs, and 30 grams of absolute dark chocolate. All in all, this brings my calories up to about 2,500. Well, yeah, it's about 24 and some change. I'd say close to 2,500. My target's 2,400, so pretty much close to that, which is good. And the overall protein levels are very high. I'll give you a full rundown a little bit later when I do a wrap up. But for now, I'm going to eat this and get ready for upper body weights. So I'm currently in bed because it's the end of the day. I'm knackered, and yeah, I'm phoning this in a little bit. I've been doing this for a while. Every now and again, I get to enjoy a perk of resting when shooting one of these videos. So I just want to give a quick wrap up of the day. I'm feeling really sore from the activity I've done this week. I've really pushed myself pretty hard. And I've gone up on weights on some of the exercises, and I'm even able to keep up with the rep ranges. So overall making progress. Still obviously a long way to go, but I'm very, very happy with the results I'm seeing so far. It's a little bit slow, but like ultimately I love just getting new bits of data in and making decisions about what I'm going to do with food and other things. So speaking of food, I ate 2,491 calories. I burned 2,636 calories, giving me a deficit of 145, which is great because our goal is to only be in 1,000 calorie deficit per week. We might be a little bit over that on the basis of what we being in a 500 deficit before. And again, we are not 100% sure our watch is recording very accurately. I think it's probably down, depending on the week or depending on the activity, not recording about 500 of the activity burn that I'm getting. But I'm eating a lot more. I'm generally eating in those ranges of about 2,400, 2,300. So pretty good on that front. So it's just a case of keeping it up. I've got a scan on Monday, so we'll sort of see what the impacts are, see if my body fat percentages come down, because my weight overall is hovering around 67. Hasn't really moved, although 67 on the nose itself was, I think, the lightest weighing I've done. I don't know if I had a 66.8 yet. I can't remember. I'd have to go back through the records. But still, very low for me considering I started at 70, was it 79 or something? I can't even remember. It was so long ago. So doing pretty good on that front. I'm interested to see how that scan comes out, and then we'll make some decisions based on what we're doing. The macros for today, I actually ate 191 grams of protein. That was 31% of my daily allowance. Then 40 something percent was in fat, and I had 121 carbohydrates, which was about 23%. So fat was whatever the difference, is. Sorry, I'm trying to hold a yawn in there. So my goal is actually to only be at 160 protein, but the turkey is making it like super easy to hit those high numbers. It is a little bit more expensive than pork. I think the pork is about £3.50, so that's going to be like $5 for five. Essentially, you could get about 4 meals out of the pork, depending on how thick you want the cut. For just being in a 500 deficit, but obviously now I needed to get those proteins up. I was running out of calorie allowance. Pork wasn't giving me enough protein. Turkey is essentially 3 meals in a pack, and it costs about £5. So that's going to be about $7 ish, give or take. Yeah, about 750, maybe about 750. I don't know. I could figure it out and just put it up on the screen, but you guys have Google, so you can figure that out. So it's a little bit more expensive, but overall the 190 protein is insanely high, and my calories are doing quite well. The chicken thighs and the avocado really help bolster and push the number up towards what we're aiming for. And then the turkey does the heavy lifting on the protein. And the carbohydrates, eating quite a lot of potatoes, and they're super easy to cook. I enjoy eating them, and yeah, just boil them for 10 minutes, then chuck them in the oven, cut them up, and chuck them in the oven for 30 minutes. And it's been doing quite well. About 750 grams of those a day. So those kilo bags are starting to go through them a lot faster than I was before, when I was just down to about 12% on the carbohydrates. I do have sweet potatoes, which I could be using. I might mix it up over the weekend. I'm not going to be active, so my goal is to probably eat around 1900, probably about 2400 a day. I don't know, because based on the fact I've been so close, I'd have to check, but I think I want to be shooting for around 1900 a day in order to hit that 1000 calorie deficit. I'll do the math, and I will let you know in another update. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here. As you can tell, my arm is getting tired. That's why we've slowly been coming down here. But thanks for staying with me, guys. Please feel free to shoot some comments down below. Let me know how your fitness journeys are going. If you've got any questions about anything that I'm doing, or anything I'm taking, or the food, or how I'm preparing it, by all means, just chuck it in the comments. Any of that kind of talk, I'm happy to have with you guys. I hope you're seeing the same results. And I tell you what, if you're doing it the way I'm doing it, you'd have to be, because there's crazy. This can't just be me that this is happening to. Otherwise, I might just be like really sick and don't know about it. But we're gonna hope for the best and assume that it's because with our diet and everything's on point. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna ramble. So, cheers, and see you tomorrow. Today is a Saturday, so no training today. I'm going to be taking it nice and easy. Overall, my calorie goal for today is about 1900. I know I burn around 2000 when I'm not active. So by doing that, I'll give myself about 100 deficit, and that's going to put me on target for about 1000 deficit over the week. Now, remembering on Wednesday, we had a much bigger deficit of about 500. So that's going to give us the missing. Because essentially, if I did 100 a day, that would only be 700. Then I've got the Wednesday session, that would bring me up to 1200. So we're going to aim as close as we can to 1000, and I'll keep tailoring my meals accordingly, so I can make sure that I'm hitting my protein goals and also getting those calories in. Today, starting to recover. It's still feeling really tight around this part here. The man boobs, well, they're not really boobs anymore. They're coming onto a nice little man chest, but Chad chest. There we go, Chad chest. But yeah, still a bit sore. A lot here in my shoulder. Actually, in my shoulders. Yeah, shoulders are a little bit tight as well. Back. Yeah, my back, my lats are like really tight. So yeah, it's still taking a few days to recover from those intense workout sessions that I did during the week. I'm sure I'll get there. I need to drink more water. I was using a big 2-liter bottle that I just kept refilling, but I picked it up, gave it a sniff, and was like, oh, that bottle smells prehistoric at this point. So I need to check that out and get myself another big one. Now, you can get the little water flasks that people have, the little metallic ones. I don't like these because you can't see in them, and they're actually quite disgusting. Like, After a while, they will start to get moldy and you won't even see it. You'll just keep filling it up with water and you're just drinking out of that. So if you do want to get one of those big plastic bowls, I'd aim for something clear that you can see through so you can make sure it's clean before you're drinking that water. Or just get a 2-liter bottle of water. Or in America, I have no idea what measurements you're using. What do you use for pints, right? How many pints? I think it's like 4 pints a liter. No, yeah, well, you can Google that. But drink more and do it out of glass, ideally. Plastic if it's unavoidable. And if it's going to be plastic, make sure it's clear. Make sure you can see what you're drinking out of. What else to report? Not a lot else going on. I am about to eat my food. I've run out of regular potatoes, but I do have those sweet potatoes. So I'm going to be eating about half a kilo of sweet potato for lunch, which should be pretty good with the turkey. I'll do a little bit of seasoning and yeah, it'll be all good. So I'm just going to jump over to the table. I'll show you in just a second exactly what I'm going to be eating. And then I'll catch you guys up for meal 2 a little bit later. So stay with me. And boom, just like editing magic, we have half a kilo of sweet potato, 240 grams of turkey, and 30 grams of absolute dark chocolate. This comes out to about 1,000 calories, I think it was. Yeah, so I got about 900 left for the rest of the day. I am going to be putting salt and pepper on the sweet potato. Sweet potato tastes a lot better if you add butter, but I'm not using butter or dairy during this phase, so it's kind of a little bit, I don't know how to explain it. It's what it tastes like. The more you eat it, the more you don't want it. But I'll be fine. I'll get through this. And it's not like the liver that I ate during week 1. I'm not going to force it down, but I'll get through this. It just it won't be quite as enjoyable as regular potatoes. And guys, this is meal 2 for today. So I have 133 grams chicken thighs and 25 grams of absolute dark chocolate. Overall, this brings us up to, what is that, 1,780, just about 1,900 calories, which is bang on what we're looking for. Our protein's over 150 today, so that's very good. Our total percentage-wise, it's about 35% of our daily intake is protein, 25% is on carbohydrates, and the rest is on fat. So very successful in lining everything up. I would have liked to have had a little bit more with the chicken thighs, but I haven't been active today, so I don't really have any calories to work with. I could have gone out for a walk or something like that and then be able to add in some potatoes or something, but I chose not to. I decided to be lazy, so this is what I get. Please, sir, can I have some more? All jokes aside, really looking forward to this, and I'll catch you guys for the wrap up a bit later. Hello, guys. Time for a wrap up. Just finished up, getting ready to go to bed. Overall, successful day. I was taking it quite easy. I only ate 1,948 calories. Yeah, 1,948 calories in. Calories out was 2,077, giving me a deficit of 129. This is along the lines of what I was targeting. I did just take a quick look at MyFitnessPal for the average for the last 7 days, and my calories seem to be less than what I've eaten in terms of an average, which seems a bit weird. I'll have to add that up and check it myself. The only day of training I missed last week was Monday, and it's been pretty intense, so I'm not convinced by that number. Of course, I can always check when I just add it all up myself and then divide by 7 and generate an average that way, and then calculate the deficit based on that. And ideally, I'll be at about 1,000 calories deficit by the end of this. However, to compensate for that, tomorrow is going to be a 1,700 calorie day. I'll keep it nice and light, just to make sure that I am at that number based on the stats. I'll do a quick check of the math as well, just to make sure everything's on target. And then there is scan and photos. So for the next episode, you'll get to see the progress I made this week. Yeah, we'll see. I'll do my weigh-in tomorrow as well, just to keep an eye on it. My weight hasn't actually changed that much. I've been hovering around 67, so it probably means I just need to be a little bit more active, taking some more steps with this increased level of diet. I think the big part of it is throwing my averages off, as I didn't train Monday. That's usually a really big day for me, and for my calories, it would probably have made up the big part of the deficit. However, as we've tracked on the apps, I don't believe it's been tracking me 100%. So when I say the apps, I mean the Garmin Watch. Where is it? There it is. The Garmin Watch has not been tracking me 100% correctly. I think it's been about 500 below. So depending on what the scale says, I'll have my stats and then I'll be able to see what the scan says. And if the scan says, look, you've not moved at all, or I've gone one way or the other way, or I haven't changed it at all, then I've done something wrong, and my PT will advise exactly what I should do from there. So guys, I'm going to wrap it up here, and I'll catch you up for the weekly review tomorrow. Looking forward to it, and really looking forward to the scan and seeing how this increased food part of my diet is paying off, and see if we put on any muscle. That would be great, wouldn't it? All right, guys. See you tomorrow. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Body Development 2K Club challenge. Had some visitors today earlier, so I'm doing things a little bit late. I've got a lot of stuff going on, so I'm just going to keep this brief. Woke up today, not really feeling it as sore. I still feel it a bit in the lats, or sort of just, yeah, I think just sort of down here and on the other side, but the rest of my body's healed up quite nicely. I have a bit of a twinge here on the shoulder, but other than that, going to be fine, ready to go into Metcon cards tomorrow, which is a class I've not done for quite a while. It's been a couple of weeks because I've had a few things going on, and that's been the one that's been getting cut. So I'm going to do that because I'm away Thursday, Friday next week, so I'm going to miss 2 classes. So I want to make sure I've got fit and Metcon cards in a week where I'm going to miss 2 training sessions. Really, really good. I stepped on the scale today. I was 67 bang on. That is a drop of 100 on the scale from 100 grams because I was 67.1. So interestingly, obviously my weight is, my diet has changed quite a lot and I'm eating a lot closer to maintenance. So it probably means that I could have been a little bit more active, but the key thing will be to look at the scan tomorrow and then make decisions based on whether the actual body fat percentage has gone down. Something I'm really behind on today is drinking. I haven't drank enough water today. In fact, I haven't even had a glass, and it's already 1 o'clock and I need to get through 4.5 liters today. So yeah, I better get started because it's a lot to drink. So I'm going to be doing that. I've got food ready. I'm just going to jump you over there and show you what I'm going to be eating for meal 1. And then I'll catch you guys up for meal 2 a little bit later. And well, actually no, I've got 2 meetings that I've got to do today, and both of them are extremely important. So the meal 2 video, I'll probably skip. I'll take a picture and I'll talk about it in the wrap up. And the wrap up will be quite late, and it'll be pretty brief. I know I want to do a week's review. I'll see if I can fit that in. I've just got a lot to do today on top of everything. So guys, stay with me, and we'll get the meals, and I'll show you a quick rundown of the whole week, and we can go over the data and figure out what I need to change. See you in a second. And as promised, this is meal 1 for the day. So it's 240 grams of turkey breast, 334 grams of potatoes, and 30 grams of absolute dark chocolate. Not breaking the mold or doing anything crazy. It's seasoned with salt and pepper. And I'm going to be taking some fish oil tablets along with this because they have to be taken with food. And yeah, not much more to say. About 1,000 calories. So that leaves me about 700 left to eat. So that's going to be some chicken thighs a little bit later and maybe some chocolate on the side. Nothing big, but keeping today as quite close to what my fitness palette is telling me. I'm actually going to be aiming for around 1,800 today, and I think that's going to give me a total deficit of 1,000, which is, yeah, it should be pretty close. So we'll see, but I'll give you the updates a little bit later. And guys, this is meal 2 for today. So just 500 grams of chicken breast, sorry, not chicken breast, chicken thighs, 32 grams of absolute dark chocolate. Really simple meal. This brings me up to 1,900 calories for the day, which is bang on target. And I am so hungry right now, I'm just going to dive right in. Hey guys, it's that time again. We're going to wrap up the entire week of the Body Development 2K Club. Feeling really good about the results. So first, let's jump into the calories, and then I'll talk a bit about food, what went well, what went not so well, and we can have a good little wrap up before the scan tomorrow. So firstly, calories in was 16,187. My calories out was 17,091, giving me a deficit of 904, which is great because my set target from my PT was to be at 1,000 calorie deficit. So technically, I'm still in a position to be burning fat. but I'm going to have more resources available for me to build muscle and recover from my workout. So I don't look quite as skinny is the goal, essentially, with that. When you average that out, it means each day I was eating 2,312, 100 below what I was asked to do. So that, something to improve on. My calories out was 2,441 as tracked by my watch, giving me a deficit on average of about 129 per day. My macros ended up being 19% carbohydrates. I was told to do 25%, so I kind of need to improve a little bit on that, so eat a few more carbs. The problem was Sunday, I didn't eat carbs with my second meal, and I think that's kind of helped drag my average down a little bit. My fats was 50%, that was bang on where it was supposed to be, and my protein was actually up over my target at 31%. Yeah, so all in all, very successful. It wasn't perfect, but you know what? It's just something you have to keep working on. The turkey is definitely very, very strong for high protein content, and it's really easy to cook as well. It's a little bit dry the way I've been cooking it and preparing it, but it's not really calorie dense. Like my calories are mostly coming from the chicken thighs, but it's giving me my protein content is like just through the roof off of it. So that's overall really good. And I've got to put my calories up next week anyway. My target is to be eating 2,600 a day. But I am only going to be training 4 days next week, so I'm going to make that 2,500 calories per day. It's a little bit below what my PT recommended, but like I'm going to miss Thursday, I'm going to miss Friday, and Friday is one of the. Actually, no, I've got the two big ones this week, but I've got other stuff going on. I'm going to be away, so I'm going to just make sure I'm eating 2,500 and on average per day, and I'll take it down over the weekend when I'm not as active. Things that went really well. I think the turkey was great. That was definitely a great call. It's a little bit more expensive. For 5 turkey breasts, it works out to be about £5.50. So that's probably close to like $10, $11 or something. And of course, then you're eating 2 of those per meal. So you're getting through that quite quickly, and it starts to add up a little bit in price versus like the pork, which is so calorie dense and is also very, very cheap. So my costs have gone up, but my macros are looking a little bit better. I need to work a bit on carbohydrates, and sweet potato is difficult for me to eat a lot of it. I kind of get a little bit sick of the taste after a while. It also takes about an hour to prepare, so it takes a lot longer to cook to get it nice and fluffy and soft. So I'm probably gonna see. I want to think about putting parsnips back in, but like I have weeks where I'm just like, I don't miss parsnips, and then there's other weeks where I'm like, yeah, I don't mind eating them. I kind of like go in between phases. The only thing that I haven't changed on is the regular, normal potatoes. Those have been fantastic to me. Can't complain about those at all. I've been on top of all the supplements, making sure I'm taking those, the creatine, fish oil, the vitamin D, or vitamin D, depending on which part of the world you're in. That's all been so far so good. I don't know if that's going to have an impact on my scan tomorrow, but I guess we'll find out when we get there. So yeah, overall, sweet potato, it's okay. It's okay. It's just kind of hard to like grab 500 grams of it or something like that and then eat it. And that while that is incredibly carbohydrate dense and it'll get your macros up quite nicely, I don't really have an hour to prepare it. I could pre-prep and cook a bunch of them, and that might be the way to go, particularly with sweet potatoes, just to pre-cook them, even if I don't pre-cook everything else. Speaking of bills, I actually lost one of the receipts, but I can remember offhand, I spent about £13 in Lidl, which is one of the cheaper end supermarkets here in the UK. That got me about 4 days worth of food. It got me chicken thighs. It got me. I started off again with the pork, I believe, and I switched to turkey later in the week. I'm trying to remember exactly. I remember how much it was on the receipt. It was about £12. And then I had to go back to the supermarket to get stuff for the weekend, and that ended up being about £12 as well. So I ended up taking my weekly shop up to about £24, which is not too bad to get these macros and getting up to about 2,400. That's going to be up a little bit higher again next week. The biggest killer is actually the chocolate. It's very expensive, about £1.80 for a bar, and that's when it's on sale. It's usually £2.50, and I'm going for a bar. Roughly, I get 3 meals out of each bar essentially. So over a 2-day period, I'll eat 2 bars, and that's quite a fast way to get through them, and there's probably online retailers that will do 100% cocoa dark chocolate without any sugar in it for a lot less. So I'm going to look that up at some point during next week. Probably won't be tomorrow because like I need to have it in the cupboard, and I enjoy it. But it's something where I could definitely cut back to get those costs a little bit more in order. So yeah, that's kind of a wrap up. Pushing myself for fit. That was a good call. I've been sore for a few days, but definitely I want to try again on the harder circuit. I might just sort of see about not doing the active rests with the medicine ball and just focus on getting through the 5 drills, doing that 5 times. If I can do that, then the following week I'll start adding the medicine balls in until I need to drop it. And then I'll just keep upping it up until I can do the increased difficulty one, because the normal version of fit, at this point, I've kind of got it down. I can do it. It's still kind of a tough workout, but I want to start challenging myself, and I'm probably going to have to do the increased difficulty in stages. I don't think I'm going to be able to just smash through the harder version of fit whilst also still having the active rests in. So we'll do it over time, and eventually I'll get there, and then I'm sure my PTs will just increase the difficulty again, and they'll be like, all right, now you're going to have a 2-ton weight hanging from your waist while you're doing it. It's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And you're gonna be doing pull-ups. Okay, cool, yeah. And it's like with one hand. Oh, all right, yeah, sure. It's like an infinite level of difficulty that they can scale up to. The Dark Souls of training. I kind of hate that. You get everybody saying it's the Dark Souls of something these days. Yeah, so that's training. I think it's gone pretty well. It would be nice if I wasn't missing 2 sessions next week, but they are a Thursday and Friday session, and those are generally less intense. My most intense sessions are the Monday Metcon cards, where you're using a deck of cards doing exercises. Those are really, really tough. The Tuesday session, stretch and move, deceptively hard because you're not using weights, you're just using your body weight, but the sequences get more and more complex the more comfortable you are. That's very, very challenging. I find some of the biggest burns I get on Tuesdays as well. Wednesday fit, obviously, that's what I've been telling you the entire time has been my most difficult classes. So that's been very strong. And then Thursdays is a weights on a medicine ball, and then Friday is upper weights. So that's sort of, mostly arms and shoulders and stuff like that. But yeah, no, really, really good week. I'm very excited to see what happens on the scale. And we've got the progress pictures, of course. So the progress pictures were actually taken in the future. I take them on Monday, sort of after I've got the scan, because I've got better lighting and stuff. But I'll show them for you this week so you can sort of see exactly where I am. And then next week, obviously, you'll see where I got to as well. And yeah, I'm looking at my physique. I'm super happy with that. It's, again, I'm feeling a little bit skinny right now, and I'm hoping to fill out a little bit and just feel a little bit more fuller. But that I'm sure will come. I've got to this point in just 10 weeks. So by May, I'm certain I'm going to be exactly where I want to be. I've got a whole month of changing stuff if I need to, if stuff isn't going according to plan. So guys, I'm going to wrap it up here and wish you all a good end of your week or whenever you happen to be watching this. And I look forward to having you guys over on the next episode so you can sort of see my progress. Please remember to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more great content and you want to continue to see how my journey is playing out. It would be great if you could also shoot us a like if this content is interesting to you. It just gives me a bit more information about what I could be doing differently. And if you've got any questions, please shoot them in the comments below and I'll do my best to get back to you and answer some stuff. Even if you just want some moral support because you're like feeling miserable, you didn't eat enough carbs, I can be like, bro, you got this. You got this. So yeah, that all said and done, I will catch you guys next week. Have a good one. Cheers.